So this is my long-term count of the XJO Australian Index. It's the cash market. So you can see, if I scroll down a bit to the left side of the chart, you can see that the GFC or pre-GFC high, I think that was November 2007 as a black wave 3. I'm not going to get too caught up into cycle, super cycle or grand super cycles, but it is the end of wave 3, I believe, for the Australian market. The 17-month or so move lower, I believe, is a wave A. I've never felt that the final low price in March 2009 was the end of the move. I've always thought it counted better, and as I've got labelled, wave A is, I think it was November 2008, because then we have a rally and another 3-wave move down into the final GFC March 2009 lows, and it just doesn't count as a 5-wave for me. So I believe it was an A, B, C. So that's starting from the black capital A, and we've got an A, B, and then the rally from the final low is wave C in 5 waves to blue wave A, and I haven't got the exact dates here, but you can see that's early 2010. It's either around about March and April. The XJO has a tendency to make highs and lows around that time. And then from that small capital blue wave A in early 2010, we've got an A, B, C down to capital blue B. That was around 2011, and then a C wave up to where I've got a red W. Now, some people will be labelling the high as that smaller purple wave B, but I think that's an expanded flat, so I'm counting it as shown. And then that expanded flat for another corrective pattern into the GFC lows, and I've got that as wave X. Now you're going to see a lot of people having different counts, and the labels are slightly different, counted a different way, but at the end of the day, this is a corrective pattern from the March 2000 lows. So I don't want to get too caught up on the labeling convention, but it is a corrective pattern. Now, what I'll do is just zoom in on the action post GFC low. Now, I've seen a lot of labeling from other people, and they're counting 5 waves up to that August, I think it's August 2021 high that I've got a blue capital W. It's labelled as that on this chart. Now, I don't believe it's 5 waves. Basically, what you should see is, if you've got the first wave up at a particular angle, and that angle will change depending on your scale. If it was a wave 3, the wave 3 would be at a sharper angle. So it would be to the left of that second blue line, parallel line I've drawn, if it was a wave 3. It's not. I've got from the GFC low, I've got A, and then a consolidation in B, and then it's a C. C waves are long and slow. If it was, and because it's long and slow, it's not a wave 3. I don't believe anyhow it cannot be a wave 3. And that's a telltale sign when you get a sharp move off the bottom. It's more likely to be an A, because wave 3 should be the sharpest move. I've got this as an ABC. Now from that August, I think it's August 2021, where I've got capital W in blue. I've got another 3-wave pattern down to wave X, and then following that I've got another pattern ABC up into the current time. I think it's Feb 2025, the end of the move, where it's labelled purple C, capital Y, and then a larger green A for now. So I believe this is just like a series of corrective patterns. I've probably not labelled it the best, but yeah, I don't think we're getting a 5-wave move off the GFC lows or off that 2022 low that I've got labelled X. Every Elliott Wave person out there loves their 1 to 5s, but not everything should be labelled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe this is just purely correct. So I've just zoomed in now to the last price action since the October 2023 low, labelled purple B on the previous chart. I've actually moved to the SPI. The last chart, long-term chart, was the XJO, but sometimes I find when you zoom into the smaller time frames, perhaps daily or intraday, the SPI can be useful because you've got the out of hours action, so you can get additional swings to help sort of get a better count. So at the top of the screen you can see it's the SPI200. This is on bar chart. You can use the APH25. I have the time scale set to daily nearby, so you've just got the current contract, and it seems to work well. I'll just scroll down so you can see the time frame. So this is from that sort of I think it's October 30, the low, just by the word bar chart, letter R. So this is my count. This is the final purple wave C on that other chart. This is my count up into the current final high now. So it's a C wave, so that is 5 waves. We've got 1, 2 in black wave 3, which is subdivided 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is subdivided again up to red 5. I haven't bothered labeling that to red 3. We've got a side wave correction in black wave 4. Admittedly, the black wave 2 is tiny in comparison to the 4, and I don't quite like that, but it does count. It is, apart from that, it does count quite well. Wave 2s are often sharp and wave 4s are often sideways moving, so we do have that. Apart from that, it's a very tiny black 2, as I just said. But from black wave 4, we've got a 5-wave move with an expanded flat for wave 4, which was a bit misleading at the time. I thought when prices got into December, that was wave 5, but you know, we did come back in red wave 4, and then we've got an ending diagonal in red wave 5, the last 5 on the chart. That's a series of 3 waves, and from then we've got the current high locked in. So now I've gone down to a 240-minute chart on the SPI, and this is the way I'm counting things at the moment off the February 13th high. There we go. So a telltale sign of where a wave 3 is the MACD or the RSI, particularly the MACD in this case is at its lowest, so that's telltale sign of a wave 3. And extended waves, it can often be the 3 of 3 rather than 5 of 3. The 3 of 3 has the extreme MACD, and we've got a sideways consolidation for wave 4, and then what looks to be probably an ending diagonal down to my purple wave 5 for wave 1. Now I've got to see how things develop. There must be a counter trend move coming soon, I would expect, and then price action from that lower will be very telling. In similar fashion to what I said before, wave 1 or wave 1 is at a shallower angle than wave 3. So if we're going to get a counter trend higher in a wave 2, which will be probably fairly short and sharp, as they often are, the move lower, if it's at a sharper angle than the current pattern down from that red wave high, that will be a telltale sign that it's probably a wave 3 rather than a wave C. But time will tell. And just moving back to the XJO on the weekly chart, zooming out. Currently I've got quite a large move lower. I don't know if it will go that low. We'll just have to see how things progress, and time will tell. So if you've liked this analysis, please give it a like, and that will be an indication that you'd like to see more. Thanks very much.